Next question comes from Ariel Metropolis.
Senator Ayotte, you were New Hampshire's Attorney General at the time of some alleged instances of abuse were happening at the former Youth Development Center in Manchester. We heard it already tonight. Senator Morse has been critical of you, alleging that you didn't do enough to stop that abuse. Were you aware of any of these allegations of abuse back then, and is this criticism fair?
No, I was not. And again, I would ask your viewers to go listen to Chuck Morse in his own words, who said that no one was aware of it. And you can hear that on chuckmorselies.com. Take a look at that. But also just look at my record as Attorney General. I went after murderers. I'm a former murder prosecutor myself. And again, a case that lives with me forever is the rape and murder of a 6-year-old little girl that I prosecuted, along with holding the Catholic Church accountable. The Child Abuse Task Force at the Attorney General's office, all of those things were very important to me. And as governor, I will make sure that we keep this state safe and that children are protected. And we also need to deal with some of the issues we'd have at DCYF because unfortunately we know that children have died because there haven't been the kind of follow-up that we need. And so as governor, I'm going to prioritize that issue as well.
So to be clear, you were not aware of any of these allegations at the time?
No. Listen, I take my job very seriously. And I certainly, as Attorney General and a murder prosecutor, you can see the work that I did working with police, and having their support in this campaign means a lot to me, including the endorsement of the troopers, the New Hampshire Police Association, and I look forward to working with them as governor.
Senator Morse, you were an architect of the settlement fund that was created for YDC victims to get compensation without going through the courts. You were told at the time that the amount of money that you were putting into the fund was woefully insufficient. The state has added more money to that fund multiple times now because, simply put, there wasn't enough. Critics say this delay will ultimately cost the state even more money. Why didn't you heed the original advice to put more money into that fund?
Well, you got it right in the beginning. I was the architect of that because these children, we saw that it was wrong what happened. And as the process was starting, we wanted to make sure that there was money available. And that's why we put the first $100 million in an account with all the statements in the world that we as a state would be there to make sure we supported them. But let's understand what's happening here. The reason the expenses are driving up is because the amount of kids that weren't dealt with during the time period that Kelly was the chief law enforcement official. This is going to cost the state hundreds of millions of dollars when it's finally all worked out, and it's because we didn't stop it back then.
So was it a mistake not to put more money, though, at the time?
No, we certainly made sure that we had a rainy day fund that could help these children. We wanted that to happen, and that's why we set up this system.
Senator Ayotte, you were invoked 15 seconds, then we'll move on.
I would just say this. Again, in his own words, you should check this out. But I have to say this. It's so important that we work as a state to protect children. DCYF, there have been failings there. We need to address that. And Chuck was, by the way, finance chair during all of this. But we all need to work together to turn this around and make sure that it never happens again. And I look forward to bringing my experience as Attorney General, working with law enforcement to make sure that is the case.